So in this video, what I want to do is talk about the reasoning by why I am shifting from persuasion to demonstration. And it's something that I've done for a very long time in my content. I just haven't really expressed it or reasoned with it until now, because obviously what I'm doing is I'm a marketing consultant to coaches, to other consultants, to service providers, and I've had a love and a knit for writing because of my email marketing background. So studying the greats and understanding the fundamentals of copywriting has been fun. And, I'm at a stage in my career where I can be comfortable in saying that I can write to persuade, and I have an email list, and I've done really well for myself. But there was something going on lately where I was exploring some of my software engineering background again, obviously with the rise of Claude Code and all of that. I used to run a 12-man agency where we did a lot of JavaScript, and my previous career before doing the agency stuff was basically a front-end web developer for a company in Shoreditch in London, where I spent the majority of my time. I also worked for Hiscox Insurance as a web developer myself, and I did some other work where our main clients were like KPMG and IBM in blockchain stuff primarily. And I was also part of a startup in London that raised 5 million, where I had a newsletter, and I was also part of the product department. So my entire background was software based, right? And then I want to say I was a lazy developer in the sense that I loved the data, I loved the building side for me. But when I had the agency and all of that, like when I stopped coding, I actually felt more like myself because I could understand infrastructurally and architecturally what I would do. So think of it like a CTO role in a sense. And I've led many teams, many projects. Some of our portfolio pieces had like Vogue magazine and FIFA 21, where we built like a school in Malawi, selling, footballs as a force for good. There was a lot of that going on, but I say I was a lazy developer in the sense that I didn't actually enjoy the coding for clients, and I fell out of love for it, and that was partially the reason why I folded it in 2023. But why I tell you this little story is because back then, when we spoke to non-technical people, right, they just wanted an outcome. They wanted to get more leads. They wanted more bookings. They wanted a nice website. They didn't care whether we built it on Python or JavaScript or WordPress or, whatever it may be. So I switched my language, obviously learning the hard way, because when we did speak tech, we just attracted other builders. When we spoke to founders, we just spoke about these outcomes. But we shared everything, right? So I learned to code for free. I used a website called Free Code Camp in like 2016, and I binged it, and I did 180 hours or whatever it was. Then we used like Stack Overflow, which was you can find that online, where we just like asked coding questions and everybody answered them as a community globally. It's still alive and well. We used GitHub to sort of store our code and star and fork other projects where we can work. I primarily built my websites on WordPress at the agency because it was more scalable. And all of that was open source. Everything was entirely free. Like, I chose to do a boot camp once at a place called Lewagen for 5k pounds, but that was because I wanted the speed, I wanted the expertise. But aside from that, everything I knew about coding was free. And all of this will link in a second. But what was happening at the agency was somebody would, like, even though we gave everything away for free, you could literally learn, binge a YouTube video as well and learn how to code and whatever. Somebody who doesn't have that need would pay us to build them their website, their platform, their mobile app, their whatever it was. So we were so grateful. Like, we would also help the JavaScript community here in Cyprus by pushing code to their GitHub, to their repositories, and all of that sort of stuff. And we just gave all of the coding side for free to the community because other people would take our backend and our database and whatever it is that we were sharing, our applications, and could just create their own. And that was the nature of building, right? Like, if you think about it a little bit, you want a landing page, you didn't invent it, right? You have a navigation bar, you have a button, you have an about section. Like, it is a content management system in the back if you have a blog, for example. So you didn't have to reinvent the wheel even before AI. So all I had to do was show up and demonstrate that we could build apps and websites, and people flocked to us. They didn't have to be persuaded. I just had to like share my screen or show up live somewhere or in a call or whatever it was and just show our work. And through the sheer demonstration, there was zero persuasion. So people who were looking for websites would, like, they were solution aware buyers as well. So it was a vibe. It was, do I want this person to build it, right? So, when I pivoted and then did like marketing and grew my audience on LinkedIn and, so on and so forth, I applied a lot of the email marketing side of my agency where it had to do with persuasion and campaigns and running offers, and that had deadlines and scarcity and urgency and that sort of stuff, where again that was fine, but I had to convince someone and shift their belief in order to buy the thing. I had to give them a reason to buy now, which was a different way of thinking from here's how to build this thing, and if you want to hop over you can. So that did really well, and it's still doing really well, and I really enjoy teaching my students inside Modern Maker about all of this stuff, and it's worked, and we've got phenomenal results. Now, what happened over time is somebody approached me. I entered their world as a fractional CMO, and then they made me an offer to own some equity stake in their business, where they were an AI education platform, and they were like, Jacob, you're really good at the marketing, we're all builders and you're also a builder, and so on and so forth, and we want to run a cohort. So I told you about my boot camp where I paid $5,000 to learn Ruby on Rails. At the time it was a full stack web development boot camp. And then when I saw other boot camps and places, like, if you're in that space, you would probably know more than I would now. I haven't been in this world for some time. People would charge 5, 8, 10K, whatever, because you make it back so many times over. Like, my salary as a dev was 5K a month in London. So it paid itself many times over, and that's the sort of play with those cohorts, I would assume. So when I discussed the equity and all of that, and I went to launch using my email list, what we saw, at least while we were pivoting, was anyway, inside Modern Maker, we used custom GPTs, and custom GPTs got people crazy fast results. They were able to do something that, in the past took me like a month or a week, or like, let's take an offer, for example. I'd have to physically get on Zoom with someone, talk to them, extract their expertise, go ahead, they would like go and write it, I would review it, we would go back and forth, and this process would take 3 to 7 days, and then we would go test it out. If they wanted to sell through a document without any sales call. But that entire process with a custom GPT, like offer making bot, mine is called Iggy, the offer maker, I'll drop it down below if you want to check, literally does it in like 4 or 5 minutes. So with that same principle, what I did was I systemized the flow, because inside Modern Maker we have offers, we have funnels, and then we have posts. So I call this the one pad that you need, the one post a day system that has those 3 pads. Now, with Claude Code and all of this, I sort of realized, is it okay, or the principle of it was, do I need a Notion doc here and a Google doc there and 10 GPT links over here and be scattered, or do I just use Claude Code and my JavaScript knowledge and hook up a database on the web on a server, and instead of having all of these 10 links, have what I called an AI studio, which pretty much has a little tab on the left where all of these things existed, right? So you can go in and find whatever it is. And a lot of coaches and consultants responded to that and said, yes, that's exactly what I wanted, and I didn't know I did. It would be so much better. And others said we could monetize this and have a Stripe link. And you basically shift a little bit from coaching and become somewhat of a platform owner, like a SaaS owner or a mini SaaS, right? So that toyed for some time, and then I did a wait list for a month, and then I started like feeling a little bit strange internally. I was like, now that this has nothing to do with business and marketing, which is what I am paid to do, I'm embracing the development side of me, which is awesome, and I'm dabbling into my curiosity, and I had a very, very good time building this. But as soon as I did the launch email, something in me felt weird. So I grabbed the doggies and I went out for a walk, and I started reflecting, and I was like, first of all, I shut down an agency because I fell out of love for code, even though this time I built it for me and I'm redistributing something to others. Second of all, I was going to charge $2,000 for the cohort, but I said I got here for free, regardless of the bootcamp that I chose to invest money in. It was like the open source community and me dabbling in and being interested, so it felt wrong to charge $2,000 to teach someone how to install their own AI studio. So I came back home from the walk. I literally packaged the whole AI studio in like a couple of hours on my own, and I contacted the company who was going to be behind sort of this thing, and we were really aligned. They were like, actually, the coaching thing isn't for us. It was more you coming in and introducing yourself, and we want to go much broader and target other audiences. So we're all in, and I just felt so good because I was like, literally 6 years ago, my grandfather passed away, who was the real modern maker, and he was more of a father figure to me than anybody else, and he taught me so much about business and life in general. And every year we donate in his name. Like last year, 5% of proceeds went. We fed 300 people in a town called Paralimni here in Cyprus. It's like Paralimni translates directly to near the lake or near the sea. So he used to be someone who essentially survived the war here in Cyprus in 1974. I almost fell off the chair here. What was it? He survived the war, then he sold peer-to-peer cigarettes, and from there he had 4 sons and my grandma, and then started doing like hotel catering and made a catering company on his own, and was an entrepreneur, and like pretty much took over the whole island. And then sort of, I'll keep this story brief, but he meant a lot to me, and it really hurt, and it was really difficult to overcome and grieve. But every year in his name we feed more and more people. It started off as 5, then 50, then 100, and last year we fed 300. And there was a side of me saying, Modern Maker for me is clear business and marketing. It's email, it's funnels, it's all that stuff that I wake up really passionate to lead, and I've got over 200 active community members, and 20 plus one-on-ones and group clients. I think we're like at 40 right now, and it's beautiful. Like, that is what sets my soul on fire. This whole AI studio thing was like, I want to give on behalf of my grandfather. I want to do it for the love of the game and software, and with Claude Code or AI, it's made coding pretty much like the value of the code is 0, but the value of your creativity is like infinite, right? It's a time where we can literally blink, close our eyes, make a wish, and then just build it in the online space, right? So a side of me just like lit up, and I was like, I have to talk about this. I want to document this feeling, and that's why I'm shooting this video as well, because I wrote the emails, I removed the launch campaign, I put a $1 price tag, and I'll leave this down below if you want to participate. The workshop is happening next week, and then it will be evergreen, and of course I'm going to release it on YouTube, and it's going to be entirely free. But anyone who wants to pay the $1 even after the workshop, it's going to always go to charity in memory of Kyriakos, my grandfather here. Gets to me every time I talk, because he was such an incredible human. But anyway, there are many coaches and consultants who want to have an AI studio, and it felt so nice to be able to like say, hey guys, you know what? I started this. I'm folding it, and folding it in the sense that I'm giving it to you for free. And what happened was I put it for $1. I made a little website, and it literally blew my mind because if you can see my screen here, these are all Stripe transactions. We've had over 107 people grab it in the last 24 hours. So I was like, Kiriako, like Papu, we say here in Cyprus, for granddad, would be so proud. Because finally, like, this side of me is less business and less marketing. It is pure creation. It is innocent. It is art. It is infinite. It is blossoming, and I'm so grateful. And this is literally what's coming out in this moment as I speak, because one, I get to help non-technical people. Two, if you're non-technical and you get to use this, you can make art out of it. You can change the colors, you can add your own logo, you can add any other features I haven't thought of. Just like the open source community operates, you have full freedom to make it exactly what you want to make it. So in this workshop, it's the first time I hope there's a higher attendance rate. Like, I usually get 30 people attend my Modern Maker workshops on a weekly basis, which is cool. It fluctuates, like sometimes there's 10, 15, 20, 30. And the most we've had is 56. I think it was last year for an offer workshop. And now I'm sort of thinking, wow, this has potential to create a little movement out of it. But all this to say, with the other equity deal that I'm leading now and looking into, Modern Maker will forever be Modern Maker. Like, that's not going anywhere, and we're gonna use I'm gonna use the AI studio for these students and give them an opportunity to partake, and some of them have even donated, and it's lovely for Bapu. Now, for me, with that side, it's triggered a conversation with them where it's like, we're gonna give everything away for free. And there's something to that, because I mean, I was an ex-musician as well. I studied music and did all of that. So the fact that I was able to get this far and give and create and write music and do all of that, it's that side of me, like the little boy who wished to create and make people happy and do all of that. So, you know, I don't necessarily know why I'm bringing this up, but I wanted to share the reasoning behind it all and why this all happened, and maybe you have something in there to partake. I know I've been talking for like 17-ish minutes, so I'm going to keep it here and cut it right here. But if you want to partake, I'll drop it down below. Would be awesome to see you. And if you have any thoughts, just shoot me a message and I'd be all ears and ready to listen and hear you out. But that's the story for the weekend. That's what happened, and I'm super excited to bring 2 and 2 together now.